Hi, everyone, and welcome to another live show. Hi, Jeff Phillips. B is here. Gwyneth is here. So nice to see all of you. By your request, I am doing another live. I did one back in November. So this entire time, let me fumble around with this. I'm trying to not be too distracting with the background. And let's see, hang on. Everything is in reverse. Okay. I wanted to make sure that you can see me, that everything is good. So nice to have you all join me today. What's going on with you? Do you have questions? This isn't Ask Me Anything. Jeff, look at what I have. Can you see this? It says, consider this. What if it's all perfect? So I have to drive a car out here. This is one of the things about not being in New York. You drive everywhere, and I am so far out. I am 150 yards from the national, well, I'm in the national forest, but like the fence line for the wild horses and everything is about 150 yards away. I'm on the backside of an Indian reservation. So when I get in a car to go somewhere, it's a 45-minute trip. So I bring my water with me to make sure that I hydrate because I'm bored in the car. There's nothing else to do. So I drink water, I listen to podcasts. And I saw this on the site and I chose purple because you can customize any of the colors. It's heavy. I thought it would be small. This is about 40 ounces, but it fits in my car. And I make sure that I drink the water and I feel hydrated because it's dry out here in the desert. So I just want to remind all of you that the merch line is here to remind you of things. When I see the consider this, what if it's all perfect? If I'm going through an issue, and yes, I have issues too, as everybody does, and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, how's this going to work out? And then I see it and it says, maybe everything's perfect. Okay, Nika, she Nika's job is to protect me from the Amazon deliveries. Okay. Oh God, please go away. Don't be ringing my doorbell. Okay, they did. Okay, good girl. Oh, mighty hunter. Okay, all done. All done. Good girl. Okay. Uh the cartage. Okay, let's start with you. Oh my God, let me get this the way I want. It's always in reverse. It's got it like, okay, let's see. What do you say? Hang on here. All right, everybody, let me slow down. Hi, Susan. I'm a single male and I got hit on by a lot of married women and women in relationships. Is this a new thing? No. Um, well, maybe you're very good looking. I'm sorry for their partners. I are you a fitness instructor, or a massage therapist? I mean, are they meeting you in a certain manner that is exciting them? I don't really know. Um, uh, I'm glad that you're being hit on, but I'm sorry that it's by unavailable people. I want to tell you something. So, a dear friend of mine, he was my best director of photography ever, Steve Taibbi. I worked with him for years when I was in corporate. And he said, so he was looking for a girlfriend the whole time. So he finally gets a girlfriend and then he gets engaged. He said, Susan, I don't know what it is. He wasn't wearing any, he was just engaged. He said, the minute I asked her to marry me, I put a ring on her finger. He said, women started coming onto me like crazy. It's like, what is happening? This is kind of the reverse of that, but people are nuts. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why they're coming on to you. And the mores have changed. I mean, we're having discussions now about are you monogamous? We have to ask. We're having discussions about what is your vision for a relationship when 100 years ago there was one type. You are courting to be married and you want children. That's inherent. Now everything is up for a conversation. So very, very interesting. Hi, Jyoti. I'm so happy to see you. Hope you're doing great. Always a treat to catch you live. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, golly. Let's see if I can do it this way. Jeff Phillips, I have to remember you have podcasts, and I'm doing more now on the podcast. You know why? Sometimes I shoot a video, and no matter what I try to do, I just look horrible. The lighting is bad, everything's bad. So what I decide to do is I just like I threw them away in the past. I'm like, this is really good information. So I'm just going to start to do it in, you know, strip it over and put it onto the other site. Okay, this is driving me crazy because I'm on a weird angle here. Let's see. Get that hydration. Hi, Justin. How are you doing? Janny. Janny Banani. Uh, how do I break a cycle of someone leading me on? I get excited about them. They use me, and then they reject me when I want more than just a physical thing. Never good enough to be a girlfriend. So this sounds like the dating cycle that most individuals are going through right now. And I think it's because people don't know what they want and they're going out into the world and not being clear. So, my first question to you, if you really know the end goal of what you want, are you filtering really, really, really carefully for this? Because I think that's important. And I know that people can lie. People can say that they want a relationship on their online dating profile. They can tell you that they're looking for a partner. They can tell you how much love means to them, blah, 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 blah. Just pace yourself, go slowly, and you may have to put them through some rigors of questioning. Tell me about your last relationship. What is it that you like about relationships? And be very specific. You may even want to say to them, because you've got this background, Jenny, you may want to say, look, everybody is entitled to do what they want here. But for me, I'm really looking for a relationship. So if you are not open to the idea of a relationship in general, and if you are looking for something casual, please know that we're not a match and be kind. Let me know because there's no reason to hurt me when you can clearly get what you want from many other individuals. All right. Somebody had just sent me a super chat and I saw it. Oh, here it is, 6.99. Hi, AC. How are you doing? I'm in my 40s. Why so many people projecting their childhood fantasy of the one onto us and losing interest the moment we show any reality of humanity? Um, I just had a really wonderful conversation with Damona Hoffman. I don't know if any of you know her. I don't really have time to watch legacy TV, but she's on the Drew Barrymore show as the resident expert. She's been in the field for like 20 plus years. She wrote a book that I was profiling last year called F the Fairy Tale. And we were talking about this fallacy about the one. Oh my God, it's got to be the one. And we make these absolutely impossible parameters around it in that, they have to be this and they have to be that, and it has to feel this way. And all we're doing is uniting with another human being who is as flawed as we are, and they're not perfect. And so I think what you're talking about is that when relationships get real and when they get to know you, and when you start actually working with them and being in a relationship, I think what you're saying is then they don't want any part of it. The childhood fantasy, so many people projecting their childhood fantasy onto us and losing interest the moment we show. You can either have a real relationship or you can have a magical fantasy relationship. And the people that want a magical fantasy relationship flip partners all the time because they start to think when they're not feeling this incredible over the top sparks and their person is not like constantly being whatever they want in their mind, whatever is their ideal, they suddenly think, oh, this can't be real. This is not a partner for me because I'd feel otherwise. So there's a lot of churn in this. Okay. I decide, otherwise I had the Starbucks container and I'm not advertising Starbucks. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Okay, so let me see, get the hydration. Okay, Janny. Hello, Richard. So nice to have you here. Gomez 21, you sweet person. Thank you very much. Brian, hey, hello, Brian. How are you? So nice to talk to you. Yes, I haven't seen you in a long time. You haven't been here. That's okay. Good God, what time is this for you? Uh, geez, I think you're plus 17 hours from me. Okay, let's go down. It's always so complicated for Susie. Stacy Brown, how are you doing? When dating someone with adult children, what's an acceptable level of involvement with your partner's adult children, especially in the early stages, less than a year? Okay, this is where you're going to need to talk to your partner and have them tell you where they're at and how they want to integrate you. Okay, many people, I find this with divorced men almost more so than the women, but they're precious as to the last remnant of a family that they have. So they are going to move very slowly, showing somebody new. Well, okay, listen, anybody could do it, to be honest with you. So because they're going to move very slowly, they want to make sure that you're going to be somebody who sticks around. And I would take your cue from your partner, but I want you to be aware of this. Oftentimes, if you find that you are not being introduced to the children in a timely fashion that equals where you are in the relationship, meaning you're an established couple, you're monogamous, you've been together 4, 5, 6 months, it's working out really well, right? You really like each other. If after 6 months of you being out in public together, meeting their friends, they meet your friends, and you've done the exterior circle, if they don't start to introduce you on the interior, you may have to have a discussion because they might be keeping you on the side. And I've seen this happen to many people that have gotten into blended families, and the women are kept from the children. They get to see them occasionally, or the man is kept from her children. And it's a way of diminishing your priority, and I know they're trying to protect their kids, but it's very uncomfortable because it always makes you feel like you're a second-class citizen, like they're not really committed, you're not really in a safe relationship, because if you were, you'd be part of the family system. So, it really shouldn't be more than 6 or 9 months. By 6 or 9 months, if they haven't started to integrate you into normal things, and the kids know that this is their choice of partner, you're gonna have a problem, okay? Gomez 21, again, he says he likes being with me, but I get s well, I Gomez, I think I missed the first one, but of course people like being with you. I mean, but what are we talking about? Gomez. Okay, I don't know where they are. You not in a relationship? When people say they like being with you, but they're not making a commitment, they're not showing up as partner, they're not there for you, what are they saying? What they're really saying is, "I like hanging out and I like sex, and so far I like the fact that you haven't bothered me about it, and I can still ride this out." Okay, let's see, what do we have here? I've fallen in love with a narcissistic man. Oy, 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 oy. I know I need to break up with him, but I'm unable to speak up to his emotional abuse. God, and rid the feeling of missing him. The itch to contact him troubles me. That's a really incredible way to say it, and that is exactly what it is, because it's like an addiction. It's amazing, isn't it, how we know the end story? We know what we have to do, and yet we fight ourselves to do the right thing for ourselves. Like, he's a narcissist, he's abusive, and there's no reason to talk about it. They're not gonna change. If a person's abusive, that's a red flag. That is get out. That is like danger, danger, warning, warning. It's like all the sirens are going off. School alarms. There's a it's not just a fire drill, there's a real fire. It's like, this is really serious stuff. You can't. um, negotiate with an abuser. You can't narcissist a person. Like, you can't deactivate that. That's their food. That's their, it's about me. This is how they live their life. They are parasitic. So if you care for yourself, and we all care for you here, you have to come back next week and let us know that you, one, don't need to talk to him. The only thing you need to do is text and say, oh, and say this, no information. It's like, this isn't working for me. That's it. I'm done. Period. Oh, he's going to contact you all the time. Just say, it's not working for me. I want to cease contact. You say it and then you hold on to it. There's nothing you're going to find here. You've already identified to abusive and narcissist. There's nothing else. What are you going to do? Like, you can't remake this person. And the thing under the thing here is that what bothers me is that you still want them. That is the childhood wound that needs to be looked at. Why we would want someone who is cruel and abusive to us. That is the issue. And if we don't get to the root cause of that, we are going to replicate this situation with the next person and the next person to a greater or lesser degree until we clear it out of our system. 5 a.m. Okay, so Jyoti, next week, we want to hear, not to put any pressure on you, but absolute pressure. It's not working for me. I'm done. I don't need, and then he'll respond back, blah, 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 and tell you everything you ever want to hear. And he'll gaslight you. And then you just say, yeah, we don't need to be in contact anymore. And then you block and you stop looking. Every time you go back to an obsession, you feed it again. It's going to be harder to do it, to get away. So in order to really get away, we have to starve it of our mental attention. All right? 5 a.m., Brian. You beast, you. You're so big and strong. Okay, that's dedication. I agree. Naftuza, $5. Hello, my dear, my gorgeous one. How are you doing? I lose interest when men mention my appearance and ask what I like to do for fun. Oh, it's just a stupid question. They're just not very sophisticated. Not everybody is a conversationalist. That's like saying, what is your favorite color? My God. Okay. Is this an indication of their level of seriousness with me? No, I don't think it has anything to do with you. I don't think they're diminishing your value because you're beautiful. I don't think they're thinking that you're stupid. I think they're boxed up by your beauty and just like saying dumb things. The guys aren't that smart with the pickup. Why do you think we have hundreds and hundreds of male dating coaches with boot camps to give them pickup lines and teach them how to come on to a lady? Because they really don't know how to do it. They honestly don't. And it's not their fault. They just haven't been taught. So, yeah, of course you lose interest. Why don't you just turn around and say, I have a number of interests. Tell me about yours. Interesting question. Why do you ask? Okay, because I want to know. Fun. They should ask you what you love. They should ask you where your passion lies. They should ask you questions about your life and then ask secondary questions after you've given them information. But not everybody knows how to continue a conversation. Uh, Trendophile. My ex wants to work things out. Meanwhile, I've gotten the opportunity to meet a new guy. I've told my ex we can try therapy, but he must wait until I travel to where he lives. Okay, this sounds a little convoluted. First of all, it's a long distance relationship. You can't. Brian, thank you so much. I'm going to get right back to you. You can't be in therapy to get back with your ex and meeting a new guy at the same time. You're, excuse the expression, pissing all over yourself. You're not doing this and you're not doing that. You're kind of doing this and erasing this, kind of doing this and erasing that. So you actually have to make a decision. You've met somebody new. If you want to go to therapy to help your ex through their closure, that's fine. But you've got a lot of problems. He must wait until you travel to where he lives. I think, you know, looks like you got all the control here. Looks like this one's crazy about you and you got new options. I just don't think that I don't know. Maybe you want to date casually. I don't know what you want. I would not be working to figure out an ex while I'm dating somebody new. And the fact that you're interested in somebody new, the ex just sounds like a lot of work. They just sound like a lot of work. It doesn't sound like that's where you're at right now with the, 5 sentences that I'm getting here. Okay. AC, let's see. Hang on here. Thank you, Nathusa, for that. Okay. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Susans. I'm always surprised with the amount of men around my age that are just looking for the one. I don't know what novels they've been reading or movies they've been, maybe they're just catching up. I don't know what they mean by the one. I mean, what they're, maybe that's just a word that they've learned that means like my partner or my person. Maybe it's just in their common language. But there is, imagine if there were only one and we miss it. I mean, there's only one, but the one unexpectedly dies. The world is not limited. Look at nature. I mean, it's life is expansion. So there are many choices, many roads to go down, many opportunities for us. It's just which one do we choose? That's it. We have free will. We're talking to Bea and Gwyneth, who I think are so marvelous. Our 2 people here have been, I think I've been doing this since 2020. They have been with us every week. Like they have other things they could be doing on a Thursday night, okay? And they are fabulous. And that's because sometimes we had people that needed help with super chat, or they needed to know how to do something, uh, or they couldn't get their super chat to work, or they had a question, and they've always been awesome. Let me jump right to you, Brian. Oh, 20. Thank you so much. $20. Susan, long time no see. I'd like to make a consultation. Not in pain. Would like to fill you in on what's been happening since I spoke to you. I'm in a situation, unsure anymore at this point, and how, and now I need your help. Missed you. I have a special on the 1 hour. It's in the newsletter. I think you're in the newsletter, but you can write me directly. I think you probably know how to get a hold of me, Brian, and we can sort something out, okay? Because I'd love to work with you again. This is fabulous. Okay, more than happy to do so. And thank you. Yep, listen, you're doing it right. The time you don't want to take a consultation, normally people come, it's the last thing. And we could have changed course midway through, or I could have helped them evacuate sooner. Oh, Richard, I see you here. Richard, $20. And I'll come back to you, those of you who haven't contributed, but I'm going to get the super chat people first. In the last few years, I've had 2 long distance relationships. Wow, 500 miles and 750 miles. Each lasted about 6 months, but ended due to the distance. How can long distance relationships last without one or both eventually relocating? They just don't. What was the thing about the Golden Bachelor? They fell in love with each other, but neither one were willing to give up where they were living. So, Richard, do you live in a place where there is nobody within an hour from you? I'm just wondering, but you might want to put this in your profile. When you find somebody that far away, before you even get in that deep, you may say, look I really like you and I'd like to examine this. I've been in 2 long distance relationships. Are you the one who's unwilling to move? Are they the ones who are unwilling to move? How much is love worth to you? Now, it's difficult nowadays. Sorry, guys. Women have careers and they don't want to leave their company or they don't want to leave their territory. In the like my father moved from town to town according to the jobs that he had, right? My mother went with him. She gave up her career. She was a professional singer, a big band singer. She gave up her career because she got married. That's what one did. And their husband says, I'm going to Oklahoma. They go to Oklahoma. Their husband says, I'm going to Denver, says, I'm going to Pittsburgh, whatever. They pack up the kids and they go. Now we got ladies that are like, I'm CEO here. You're going to have to come to me. So maybe also, Richard, we need to think, how much are you willing to negotiate? M- Both times, would they not relocate? Both times, would you not relocate? So once we find out if it's you who cannot and will not want to relocate, then we have to figure out how to find you ladies in your area. And if it's always them, I would say that the correction is to begin all of your online dating and all of your initial meetings with, um, or it could, because you would be online because they're long distance, right? To say, look at if this works out. My goal is that we really end up together in the same place. Would you be, are you open to that idea if this is absolutely perfect for you and for me? Okay. So you just have to know where your boundaries are on this. All righty then. Okay, let me go back here. Oh my goodness, all you lovely people. AC 699. Where were you, honey? I got to make sure I get to you. Let's see. Thank you so much for this. How do we handle someone telling us we're amazing together, but something in my gut tells me no? P.S. She wanted to stay friends, but I said I couldn't do that. Good on you. Thank you for all your help. Tomo, you can't fight her gut. I don't know what's in there. I don't know if it's a family of origin issue. I don't know if she's an avoidant. I don't know what's going on. But that's a hard one to counter because you can't talk them out of it. But worse yet, unfortunately, it's it's not giving you much information other than it's something. So the nice thing is, it good thing is, it isn't anything you can fix, meaning it's not like, "Oh my god, I hate those pants that you wear. Or I got the ick." It's none of that. It's definitely in her, and for that, I am sorry, okay? Here's what I do. I'd bounce off of, "We're amazing together." Good. You definitely know how to be in a relationship, and you know how to be amazing with somebody, and I'm sure it was great. I wonder if this person is a jumper. Like, I wonder if this person is in it for a while, kinda gets the best out of the initial part of it, and then loses interest. There are some people, I mean, this is just intuitive on my part, but there are some people that get into stuff and they love the beginning because all the drugs and all the, and I mean drugs inside our body are going off. And then, but they only think that a relationship is that spark and those feelings. And when it starts to solidify a little bit, then they kind of feel it dampened and they're starting to come back down from their hormonal high. And they're like, I don't know. Something's wrong. I'm not feeling it. It's just like not right. That's my guess. I just don't know what else to say here because of the limited information I have. But we can never know what goes on in another person's mind, can we? And then they not even telling us, right? What expectation should I have after dating a man for over a year? I'm 69. My boyfriend is 74. When we met, I said I was interested in marriage. I'm afraid to bring it up. I don't want to waste my time. Shirley, let me ask you a question. Why are you interested in marriage? You are 69. You do realize now, I know you're going to want what you want. I think what you want is stability and a promise that you're in something real. I think this is what this means to you. I know why men hesitate. I know why women of wealth hesitate, and I know why anybody over childbearing years hesitates to marry again. It is a major issue with inheritance, with kids, with family. Everybody worries about the new person coming in. Am I going to get my cut of dad's will? What's going to happen now? Does she have kids? Is she going to get it? It is really difficult. And what we can't see behind the scenes, what are his kids saying? Does he have kids? Or what are his fears? A lot of people, when the first, you got to realize how many men lose almost three-quarters of their income in one divorce, okay? Especially of this age, because he probably had to give everything up to the wife, right? So, I mean, unless he's been a bachelor his whole life, I'm just trying to go on this information here. So, there must be a character count on how much you can write me, because this is why I only get 5 lines here. Um, some people want marriage because they don't consider it's real unless you're married. And some people, it's a moral and spiritual issue. If he knows that you wanna be married, and you mentioned it a long time ago, go back to that segment in time. What did he say then? Did he say nothing and purposefully stay mute? Did he say, "Oh, yeah, if it works out well, we can talk about this," or did he push it to the side? Or did he say that he's done and he doesn't, because I don't know what he said at that moment in time. But I think if you've got somebody that you love and you are at this age, and if he loves you, if in your heart of hearts you absolutely know that he loves you, you absolutely know that he's there for you, I think marriage is just a secondary thought for everybody else. But if you don't feel secure, marriage isn't the answer. Okay. So it's really a question of what's happening inside the relationship. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All right. Warren, I love this. I'm seeing names that I've never seen before. So welcome to the live chat. This is fabulous. Susan, I've been having friends. I'm happy for the hearts. Thank you very much, everybody. Susan, I've been having friends with benefits with a closeted gay guy. Okay, I'm developing feelings for him as one would with the most intimate act in the world. He gets defensive and ghosts me, but always comes back. Do you think he feels anything for me? Yeah, he always comes back. He's closeted. He can't help being who he is, but then he hates himself, so he pushes you away. He's not pushing you away. He's pushing away his gayness. It's in conflict with whatever other life he has to present to the world. I'm so sorry that I'm reading this in 2005, but I realize that every culture is different. I don't know where you're contacting me and from what part of the world you're contacting me, but he's fighting himself. You're probably the only place where he can feel completely, but it's going to be hard for you. And I also believe that we don't experience these things in a vacuum. I have a feeling that what you're doing isn't just sex. I have a feeling that he's able to experience with you the longing of the intimacy that he's always craved. And maybe not everybody's willing to be in the position you are. You're not going to make him come out of the closet if he's not ready to. But at least while he's with you, he needs to honor the fact that you're, how do I say this? I don't want to say the word willing, but that you are already in a compromised position for caring for him and knowing that you can never really be with him. Okay. So he's got to come with one more piece to the negotiating table, and that's to not run away from himself by running away from you. All right, Warren? It's actually kind of beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure he does feel for you. Hi, Valerie. How are you doing? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Let's see, Jyoti, I've fallen in love. Okay, we read this. Need to break up. We read that. We read that. We read that. Now, Thusa, yep. Okay, I did these. I did these. Brian, this is wonderful. Everybody's talking. Hi, Stacy. Trauma bonds with narcissists is a very strong drug. Yeah, Nafthusa is helping you out here, Jyoti. Okay, endless adventures. What a great name here. My ex and I were in love for a year and started wedding planning. There were minor family disagreements, and he defended me. After that, his mom refused to give her blessing. Oh, God. At first, he fought for us, but over time, he gave in to the pressure and we broke up. Are you from an Asian culture? South Asian? Southern? Global South? It's just, I mean, it can happen in America, but it's far rarer in the US. It's very much tied to my cultures that are East Asian, Southeast Asian, and South Asian. How do I move on without feeling like I wasn't? This has nothing to do with you. Endless adventures, this has nothing to do with you. You had a weak man. But if you are from an Asian culture, or he is, I just did an article. Let's see, what was it? Oh God, for the Singapore Times on this. We don't understand in America how somebody would like defer to their family and just bypass their personal life because we are very independent here in the US. But what it means is that the manipulation, psychological or societal, that the family has over this person and his either sense of duty or guilt, because this is an American family, this is cray cray. But let's just say it means that he is not strong enough for you, and you are so lucky. This has nothing to do with you. This has to do with him being weak and giving up the one thing he wanted for himself, for his family, either under duress of family, because I've been with a kid whose family completely separated from him. And after about 2.5 years, this is when he started to develop mental illness. That it just catapulted from there because they gave him so much pressure. But if they can't stand that and walk away from the family or tell the family when to back off, this is his mother. This is where he should say, you know, you raised me, I love you, and I'll never stop loving you, but I'm marrying this woman with or without your blessing. Yeah, it's just, please tell me where you're from, because if you tell me you're from New York City, I'll be going, my head will explode. All right. Lucy Lou. Oh, hello, hello, hello. This is so nice to see all of you. Thank you for this live. Erica, he can marry his mother then. Love you, Erica. Yes, she's already enmeshed. Okay. She's made him her emotional husband. Oh my God. Let's see. Hi, Susan. I need to give them a benefit of a doubt. Guys aren't very clever. It's a lot of these guys. And watch out, the ones that are, you know what, Nafthusa, the ones that are really charming and really good at the conversation, they've betted so many women. They're so good at the first part of it. There's something rather refreshing about a guy that's bumbling and stumbling his way through it because he's nervous. That means you're high stakes. That means you're valuable. If you're just like the guy's so comfortable and so confident and so easy and doesn't give a damn about you, you're one of many. If you don't scare him a little bit, but you're still looking for a man that you can have an intelligent conversation with. Okay. Jyoti, thank you, Susan. I always appreciate your advice. You're right. I'm going to garner the strength to do it. Yeah, Jyoti, you have to report back to us next week and let us know what happened. Yep, 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 and yep. Let's see where we go. I'm going to go back up here. So many lovely things. I don't want to miss anybody. Hi, Susan. I find it curious, so to speak, how many people from such different places have the same experiences ghosting, Hanko. It is the world in which we live in now. When we untethered relationships from the formal structure of courting and dating and dating was for the purpose of a committed relationship, we got all sorts of nonsense. And then it became normalized. I feel sorriest for the group that is the millennials. They got the worst end of it. They thought it'd be fun to have hookups. Good luck. Like the situationships you ended up in, good luck. I know so many women of that generation that are turning 40 and are still alone and never wanted to be that way. Never. But they just the terrain got polluted. Gen Z is actually a little bit more conservative. It's surprising. Um, let's see. Got it, Susan. It's been a while. Let's see. Okay, Brian, I'm here for you. Okay. Okay. You all talking to each other? Should I get a side chick? Been married for 12 years. Alexander, I'm surprised that you found your way to this live show. Um, I'm not sure that I have the messaging that you want to hear. I think I would focus on what's working in your relationship and bring all that excitement that you want to experience back into your relationship. Maybe your partner, side chick. Okay, so you're straight. Maybe your wife is overwhelmed with work and kids. Maybe she hasn't had time to feel sexy. Maybe you need to role play. Maybe you need to get some sex toys. I don't know, but have you tried to reinvigorate this with the original one? Because getting a side chick is that's all for you. It's not gonna fix your marriage, and women feel it. They're gonna know. And then the resentment's gonna build, and then the passive aggressive is gonna build, and, it's just why don't you try and sort out what's missing, firstly, with the partner you have, and then wonder if you need somebody on the side again, okay? Let's see. Hello, Gladys, how are you doing? Oh, Richard, I'm semi-retired and willing to consider relocation for a special person. Excellent. It just wasn't right for me in those two situations without stronger commitment. Perfect. I love the hearts. I don't know who's sending the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, you know, so you're willing. This is a preliminary conversation you have to have. If you're semi-retired and you're willing, you have to find somebody that's right. Thank you, everyone. Jessa, $2. Advice on transition of long distance relationship. Oh, I love the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the person who want to the Alexandra that wanted somebody on the side, I'm not against you. I'm not, everybody wants what they want. It's just in the context of I why don't we take our original investment and see what we can do with it? If you're totally done there, and you're gonna be living a whole separate life on the side, maybe we need to cut this lady loose so she can find somebody who loves her and wants her, right? I'm gonna say something very controversial, so hang on to your seats, everybody. Rather than getting a side chick, you know, it sounds like the need is sexual. You don't get a side chick because you need meaningful conversations and you don't feel appreciated at home. But getting a side chick normally means there's some sexual thing that has not been fixed. Maybe you can't speak to your wife about it. Maybe you know she won't do it. Maybe there's something you want. So now you're living a fake life. In a case like that, in a modern world, I would recommend going to a professional who will give you exactly what you want. You put the money down and you get it in and out, separate and apart from your relationship. Safely with condoms, no repeat business with the same person. You can develop an attachment, not an escort, not a model, not an actress, a real professional. If there's something you got to work out within yourself and then you keep your marriage that way. I know that people want things that they know their partner would never allow, which is already unfortunate because we didn't have these conversations in the beginning when we were forming the relationship. Because part of it is that relationships change over time. In a long distance relationship, in a long standing relationship, there's a lot of things that we can't tend to. And in a long-standing relationship, you're just not that excited by each other anymore. You become partners in functionality. You take care of the kids, you're making a living, you're paying the mortgage. It's not sexy stuff. This is why every single commentary you have for people in long-standing relationships are like, how do we keep the spark alive? because there's not a spark anymore. We got to get real about that. Your partner's transition from romantic, sexy partner in the beginning to your life mate, where you do things together to support the family and be there as each other's person through sickness, through health, through economic downturns. It's a completely different model. I know that's controversial for some people, but I would rather it be isolated and handled by a professional, one time, one person. No repeat business with the same person. And this is not like a weekly thing. This is like get it out of your system, go back to your family and enjoy what is there. That is another option. Let's see. Jessa, on the advice and transition to long distance relationship and moving in together. Okay, so congratulations, Jessa. You're still at that place. Okay, wonderful. Now you need to talk about who does what. You need to talk about expectations, not sexy stuff, but you got to work it out. Meaning, financially, are you going to split it? Does one person pay more according to their salary? How do you handle the chores in the house? Because if you go in with expectations like, oh, they're going to do the laundry, maybe they're like, honey, I make 30% more than you. I'm not doing laundry. Okay. So you're going to have the functionality discussions with them. How do we split the chores? Who does this? Who pays for that? What is okay? What isn't okay? Parties with friends. Like if they're younger, I'm not saying that they are for you, Jessa, but sometimes like, how do we handle what if I don't like one of your friends and they're coming over here and they're cracking open beers and watching TV and they're irritating the hell out of me? So just figure out the financials, who's responsible for what, and start negotiating. Maybe they hate doing laundry, but they've got enough money that they could send it out. Maybe you like cooking, but you don't want to clean up. But if you cook, they clean. Okay, so start to do the functional stuff, okay? And get timelines and figure out furniture and stuff like that. Get specific timelines. I've been following you for 10 years. Well, let's get it. There we go. Social media ruined marriage and dating. Ugh. Social media ruined a lot of things, including our self-esteem. um, what's your take on saying you don't marry a man, you marry his family, particularly when you dislike parents, but he's close to them and doesn't see their negative side? Stay or leave. You are going to marry the family. You are going to be, let me see, you are going to be tethered to the family. Reality check. Everybody is going to inherit a family member on your spouse or partner's side that you do not like, who does not like you. It'd be very rare to escape that. But if that happens, you got to suck it up because there's going to be somebody on your side that might not be so agreeable. Maybe your best friend, maybe somebody else. So it's going to happen. Okay. The thing that we are watching out for, and the only thing that matters for us, is if the person that doesn't get along with us is so contentious and drives you crazy and tries to erode your standing in the family system, that's a problem. And then your partner has to be aligned with you and you say, look it, dude, your cousin is really saying horrible things to me. It really hurts my feelings. And I think that she's trying to erode our entire relationship. I need you to be here for me. Okay. You need to handle this. All right. I've tried to sign up for you. Oh, Jesus, shit. Are you still getting I'm sorry, everybody, the error sign? Okay. Just send a note to me, media@susanwinter.net. It was just fixed. I saw it fixed. And it was funky, and then something happened. I got my guy on it. Please let me know, everybody, because he's doing stuff on the inside. We're offering some special things that you don't know about yet that I'm not going to tell you about yet until they're done. And as he moves things around, other things may go out of order. So always just contact me directly. You know how to reach me, right? Um, I sent an email as well to your website. Oh, shit. Yeah, somebody else had this problem. I know. Kiana had this problem. Kiara had the problem. Okay, because she wanted to sign up. Okay. Media at susanwinter.net. Write down website or a newsletter. Give me something like that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Susan. You were spot on. Shirley, let's see, Annika. I'm going to get to both of you here. I see the super chats here. I just want to say, Erica, thank you so much. Hit the like button for Susan. Love that, Erica. Annika, I'm a visual designer in Romania and I like an actress. She's beautiful and just started gaining recognition, but she's not widely known outside of her country. My mind keeps fixating on the idea of a potential relationship with her because she's a bit old fashioned to the point where I'm considering moving to her country and pursuing her. Annika, that's a big ass leap. Okay. Please tell me you're just next door in Bulgaria or you're close in Croatia, but because that's a big leap for somebody you've got a crush on just because they're beautiful. Okay. Liking an actress is like me saying, okay, I fancy Brad Pitt. Let's put this back in reality. Do you have any way to meet or interact with this person? Have you written on their well, even if you write on social media, you don't know if they're writing you back or if their staff is writing you back. Um, I would try to make contact with you. You're not going to move to a country for a fantasy relationship. Please don't do that. Not smart. Just that you're not crazy. It's just I see this here. You're not crazy. Yes, it is unhealthy and it is unrealistic. Mhm. But we did a show on this a little bit a while back, or maybe I did a video, that oftentimes these fantasy crushes that we have are really our way of feeling all the highs and lows of love, getting all those drugs in our system, the excitement, the the dream, the fantasizing about it, because we get to live the experience, but it's always at a distance. But if you're no, we don't go doing that. We just don't. It is like the 1 in 1 million shot. You would have to have proximity. You would have to meet through business. You would have to know each other. You'd have to start to have a conversation. So if you can do any of those things, since she's only on the rise, and Romania is a small country, there's a lot of theater there. But please don't move just for that. That's kind of nuts. Mar Mitch, you're so sweet. Thank you. Okay. Oh, good. We also have a cruise planned at the end of April. Okay. What's the timeline of knowing when you should marry, have kids with somebody? Boy, I'm not the one to ask for that. Listen, generally speaking, here's what they say, because it can be very different for everybody. They say at least put a year into the relationship. And you probably want to live together or take some trips together to see if you can negotiate and get along when you're testy with each other, right? Because that's when it happens. And then you should always have a goal. If you are a serious couple, you should be talking about what you want. You should be talking about timelines that are realistic. Okay. YouTuber. Oh yeah, I know you. YouTuber use I sent you a big commentary. Let's see, 9.99. Thank you so much. Do you believe you find love when you're not looking? And do you recommend online dating? Okay, that's a great question right there. If not, what would you say is the ideal way to meet your potential mate? Love your channel and your wisdom is unmatched. You are so sweet. Thank you very much. Here is the structure of why it works when you're quote unquote not looking. When you're not looking, you're not tense, you're not grabbing, you're not clutching, you're not fearful, you're not anxious. You are natural and you are open and you're busy living your own life. All that means is you can look online, you can be actively dating. You're not cursing yourself from finding love. What they mean is love happens when you're not looking is really, they always say the thing, they never say the thing under the thing. It just irritates me so much. They need to tell you the thing. So the real thing is when you're open and relaxed and yourself, and you're not editing yourself, you're not on an interview of hoping they like you. When you're just being yourself, they have a chance to connect with you. And you're so relaxed and so natural and so unedited that the real you can come out. And then that person, their real them, says, wow, I guess I can come out and play because you're coming out to play. So I can be real too. And from two real people, that's when the love sparks. Got it? Fabulous. Thank you so much for your contribution. I think this is so great. And I really do. And I do recommend online dating. Understand, it's like put on your Wellingtons because you're going through a bunch of caca, liquid caca. But there's going to be that one little beautiful thing floating on top of a piece of caca. And it's just going to be, you're expanding your social proximity of where you meet people. But one thing for sure that online dating will do for you, I guarantee you this, it will get you so clear on what you don't want. You're going to see so much of what you don't want that you are going to get so clear on filtering because you're going to be bombarded with stuff that doesn't work that you don't want for yourself. And that's the trick. You train yourself. Okay. Online dating is training yourself. That's it. Training yourself on what you want. So it is always beneficial. Okay. AC, $10. Thank you so much. Seeing a man for 2 months and he's showing up well, but his dating history is a mess. Oh, want to give him the benefit of a doubt, but my intuition says he's not ready. Feels performative. Thoughts, geez, AC, I'm not there with you. His dating history is a mess because of him or because of the people he chose. What's he saying about it? I mean, it's pretty honest to tell you my dating history is a mess. Does that mean that you're one more in his mess? My intuition says he's not ready. Why don't you just ask him? Intuition is given to us for a reason. Just say, are you interested in a serious relationship? I mean, when you say it's a mess, it sounds like things blew up in his face. And be aware of the person who tells you these horrible things that have happened to them with these people. Because one of two things, either they create the situation that gets that reaction, or they're an inherent victim in life, and even the best intentioned person is going to end up being cast as a villain. So we got to know what's going on there. Thank you so much for your contribution. I hope that helps. Yeah, just ask him. Now, I hope I didn't miss any. Okay, so Jessa, we got your information. Valerie, let's see. We'll get you sorted. Okay, Annika, don't move to Romania. I love that I'm seeing these new names. You got to join us during the week too. Let's see. Okay, thank you. I haven't tried for a few days. Let's see if it works. The actress is from Spain, but thank you so much for answering me. It helps a lot to think this through. You're amazing. Why don't you start DMing her? And why don't you start commenting on her page? People shadow me and chat me up. And all the time I thought they liked me. I didn't know that they were like just trying to get an interview or trying to get an introduction or trying to get something from me. But still, if she's young and early, and Spain is like, you know, it's a very warm, open country. Just be very direct and nice. And Annika, do you know she's gay? I mean, that's like something you might want to think about too. Is like, otherwise you got a heck of a hurdle. So, all righty, let's see. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Richard, we talked to you. Jessa, YouTuber user, Lizzie. Lizzie, I don't know why your comment gets erased. I'm seeing this one. Asked a question about when your data goes silent when things are going great. Ooh. Maybe things were going great for you and they got scared. That's normally a fearful avoidant. Have you asked them why? Do you mean silent doesn't talk, or do you mean they're like ghosting you? Give us a little bit more information here and I'll get back to you. I've been with my girlfriend for 10 months now, Rubber Ducky says. The thing is, I haven't said I love you or feel like I'm indeed in love, and I'm scared that I won't ever be. Interesting. 10 months is enough time to know if the relationship has potential. This person sounds agreeable enough that you want to continue seeing them, but something that you want or need is missing. We hope it isn't a trauma bond. We hope it isn't some childhood wound. But why don't you figure out for yourself what exactly is missing? Be brutally honest. Do not judge yourself when you write this out. It could be horrific. It could be so superficial, but you got the icks. It could be, God, her little toe is like, it's a stub. I can't stand looking at it. The other one crosses. You don't know what it is. I don't like the way she, I don't know, eats something. Or it could be, I don't think she's bright enough. Or she's a little crude and I wouldn't want to introduce her to my friends. So if you are trying to figure out what's not working with a person, do the absolute unedited, unfiltered, and non-judgmental stream of consciousness writing so that you can figure out the real deal. It'll probably horrify you, but you have your answer and it's not going to change. It's a thing for you, okay? I gotta run. Let's see, Julius. So I deleted my questions. That's okay, Julius. That's all right. He chose the people he dated, unavailable people, one after the other. He bailed after a while. I asked him, okay, so your your new partner has a history of choosing unavailable people. You are available. This will be a new ball game for him. Okay. So maybe you're the correction. You should really talk about this and get really clear. People should know what they're capable of giving in a relationship. They should be able to know if they have a skill set to date casually, to date seriously, to make a commitment. And if they don't know that, that is crucial information. That's like baseline information to even create any kind of connection. So do the questioning, okay? We discussed this and agreed to go at our own pace, but she's been in love with me for years, and I've known her for a while studying, but only seen her romantically for a year. Rubber ducky, if you've known this woman for years and you've only been romantic this last year, it's either something in you, and I don't know what that could be. Maybe nobody gets through the gates. I don't know. Maybe nobody's perfect enough, but obviously she's committed to you. I worry about the relationship models that look like this, where you've got the person that's definitely into them and the other one that they like them and they're fine, but it's not enough. And I've seen people end relationships that are 6, 7 years with a live-in girlfriend, perfectly wonderful person. The family loved her, the friends loved her, and for some reason or other, the guy or the woman just couldn't pull the trigger, just didn't feel it. And the next person they meet is the complete opposite and they get married. Just saying. Ah, love doing what's best for the other without anything in return. Let's see. AC, thank you so much for your contribution. We've got some answers on this. Positive lifestyle. Happy Thursday, everyone. It's been a while since I've been around. Welcome back. Let's see, everybody. So great to see you, Susan. I'll check out the link. And yes, still here, always here. My life has had a transformation. So I've been lurking a lot till the light bulb blows up. Okay. Let's see, everybody. Okay. I like a man who doesn't like me. Okay. That's not a good place to start. But he's going through the emotions of his recently finished relationships. He isn't ready yet. Is it wrong to see others? No, you should be seeing others. This one doesn't like you. And should I tell him? Doesn't even sound like he needs to know. You're not even dating, are you? If you're dating, just say, sounds like you're not ready. I'm looking for somebody who's ready, not trying to push you. You just got out of something serious, but I'm going to date. Okay. If you think you might want to date seriously, give me a call. Yep. I think that's what I do with that. Kiyomiya, I know this name. How long after a guy is separated from his wife would it be reasonable to start dating him? It's been 2.5 months. It's always dangerous to be the first one out of the box. Just saying, it's kind of bad luck. And you know what? There's enough proof on this that you want to pass or tread very carefully. It could work. It could. I do know people that have married the person that was just getting divorced, and it was messy. It depends on that individual. How much healing do they need? How traumatic was the divorce? How difficult is it with the ex, with the children? Is there a lot of fallout? Do they not feel good about themselves because of the financial loss? You have to figure out, I would say to them, are you seeing him now? I would ask him, how long do you need? I don't want to get in the way of your process. I really want to date you, but I want to date you when you're ready. I would be that blunt. So love can only be between your mother or pets. Do y'all agree? Absolutely. I'm in love with Nika, but I'm not sure because I got to contend with Mulligan and all the others that she's got in her lineup. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to close this up pretty soon because I think Gwyneth and B are going to want to eat dinner. I love the fact that you've all shown up. I love the fact that I'm seeing no names that I've never seen before. Let's see. Jessa. Okay, Lizzie. Sunday he talked about meeting my parents. I've heard nothing from him since. No future plans made. Only our cruise late April. Lizzie, this guy is getting freaked out. I think you need to say, look it, let's have a let's meet for coffee or for drinks. Let him let him stop freaking. Uh, you know, he's freaking. I don't know, whatever he's got in his head with meeting the parents and already going on. You want to make sure you're still going on the cruise. Um, he does like you. Okay, just talk to him. Okay. Let's see. I love that answer. Have I missed anybody? Burning desires here that I missed. I think I've gotten to everybody. I hope so. I think I've got all of you. Yeah, you have to listen. I'm recording this like the third week of March. So you got to be talking to him. Okay. He's probably not willing yet to meet your parents, maybe, but I understand your parents want to know who you're going on this cruise with. So I get that too. That's good. Okay, Flower Power, how you doing? Nice. Okay, everybody. Hi, Susan. Late because I missed the time difference. Oh, are some of you? Oh, so some of you are in other countries still, and we changed here, I think, like 2 weeks ago. So, love having you all here. I do have new things that I'm going to be developing for all of you. And a lot of times, as I was saying, that I've been talking about the podcast and talking about it, but it never made sense to me with podcasts. Johnny, Make It Go, my Johnny Rico, my lovely friend, started stripping my stripping the audio from my video like years ago. And he goes, we should do this. I don't monetize it. And he said, we should do it. I said, okay. So I just throw it on there. And I've been throwing away videos where I had bad lighting or whatever, something was not right. And now I'm going to start putting them on there. And I have material that is not put onto YouTube that will go straight onto that because I can just go so much faster when I'm reading questions that you send me. And I wanted to organize them all according to categories so that each time it would have a category. So, like this is moving on, this is new relationships, but they come so fast and furiously that maybe it's better that I just answer 4 questions a week. But I will do that straight to the podcast because it's just so easy. It's a lot of work setting up these lights, fussing with my hair and all that. But I am doing interviews and I have about 15 pre-recorded with other people that y'all haven't seen. And I'm dispensing them slowly because I will be gone this summer. I'll be gone in May for 2 weeks. So I'll be putting in content for all of you to watch on Thursdays anyway. And I'll be gone for about 3 weeks. I'll be in Milan. So if anybody is traveling through Europe and would like a consultation, at the very beginning of August, I'll be there from the 1st through the 6th. I'll be in Milan. So let's talk about that. And I'll be doing posts so you know how to get a hold of me. Also, I will be in Venice for a couple days, just I think August 8th and 9th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, the evening of the 7th, 8th, and 9th before I go on a cruise. So I'm traveling as I do. And when I travel, I love to meet all of you. And it's so great to go to different cities and have a consultation with a client. I love it. So stay open for that. The newsletter, if something doesn't work, please contact me. There's so many different ways to do it. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I don't look at Facebook. I'm sorry. I used to do that religiously, and it's just they switched me to Instagram in 2019. I post there, but I don't do a lot of interaction. I'm really sorry if you're on Facebook. And I thank all of you for being here, and B and Gwyneth, and thank you for the super chat contributors. That's really very generous of you. I have an interview tonight with a man from Australia, Brian, and Damien Deek, I want to say, but I want to make sure I'm saying his last name properly. And we're going to be talking about relationships, obviously, and dating and different formats for dating and contracts between people. And so he has some very different ideas, uh, predominantly men, but I think he's moving into females now as well. So I've been referred to some of these people. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate this. Let's see. Danilo. I'm going to do one last one because Daniel, I don't know you yet. So this is the last one I'm going to do because I did not answer this. How can I approach a guy like who I think likes me? Oh, wait, he's terrified to say anything. I want to be gentle. Okay. All right. Danilo, give all the green lights. You may have to do it for him. You know, you may have to say, oh my God, you would be terrifying if you weren't so sweet and cute, or so, just make jokes, ask him to do stuff with you. He's probably terrified. You have to make the overture. Don't say directly, I like you. Just be so inclusive, so warm. Ask him about himself. Ask him for a drink. Ask him to get a cup of coffee with you. Ask him if he wants to do a workout with you, whatever. I think that that's the way to do it. And just tell him, you say things like, I just think, oh, I love that outfit you're wearing. That's just absolutely fabulous. Or like, oh, you look so good today. Did something great happen? Tell me. So just be warm, warm, warm so that it can override his fear. So everybody, thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here. If you do listen to the podcast, please comment, give me some ratings, because eventually I think YouTube hasn't been very nice to me. I never see myself on YouTube, and my colleagues too. There are people I just don't see anymore. They didn't stop working. I see nobody. I'm seeing a couple new people. They're pushing. I love YouTube. They were so good to me, but now they're burying the feed for myself and everybody that was on top for the last 10 years. So we may be moving more material to other places, but I will be with you. I will be available to work with you. I will be here for you in whatever form. I will be here. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to stop the show here. Thank you, everybody. I have to search for your lives and videos before it would be part of my. I know you all notice you're not seeing me on YouTube. Okay. And it's not only affecting me, it is affecting all of my colleagues, all of their viewership. And it's not that they haven't lost subscribers, but all of the views have been cut down by 2/3. And my friends and colleagues are freaking. But I don't even see people's feed that I saw last year. So I have to make sure that I press like to make sure that it comes through. So what they're doing is they're trying to reconfigure everything. So I have a bunch of shorts. I am paying a couple guys to do shorts for me. And shorts, 1,000 views gives me, hang on, 5 cents. 5 cents for 1,000 views. They're trying to compete with TikTok. They're trying to find their place. It's still the second biggest place to go. It's Google and YouTube for how to, but they're not. You have to really work to find people's videos nowadays. If if the person you're looking for was the top of the line 2 years and past. They started this in 2023 in the fall. That's when I really noticed it. Kicked up 2024. Now it's a trickle. So, what they're doing is, in order to give new material to a new audience, they want new faces. And so they adjust it so that the faces that you've been watching, you lose interest in because you're noticing how many new things you get. And on Instagram too. You're not seeing your friends. I haven't seen my friends on Instagram for 2 years, 2 entire years. I don't even know where they are. They didn't leave my business. Everybody thinks we've left the business. So that's what we do. Okay. Please do a video on stalking an ex. Is somebody stalking you? That's not good. So, Shilly, if you want to know, put the little bell. You're a subscriber. Subscribe to me, and then that little bell will notify you via email every time I do a video or when I have the live show coming up. Okay, that's how you know. What are your thoughts on no contact rules? Absolutely. If the person is abusive, horrible, stalking you, absolutely. There is a time and a place for no contact, and it's important that you follow it. If you have been madly in love with them and they've dumped you, you got to get over them. You can't afford to be friends. If they've been cruel, if they're a narcissist, you go silent, you evacuate. It's so important. Thank you, everyone. B, Gwyneth, this is wonderful. Let me know when you want another one again. Again, you were writing me. So the newsletter is susanwinter.net, and the newsletter is at the bottom of the first page. If anything malfunctions, just write me. Write me, send me a DM on Instagram and tell me what it is. We do look at those, okay? So please let me know. Thank you, everybody. And again, if you ever need to reach me, it's media@susanwinter.net. We normally save that for media, but we've now been using it for communication with my audience when something happens. Okay. If you're looking for a consultation, yes, I still do them. If you're not seeing a time in my calendar, or if you have a special program deal, you have a special there. I've got a special going on for the month of March. It was only for my newsletter subscribers, but if you ask me about it, I'll know that you are watching here, so then I'll apply it for you. Okay, that's a special on the 1 hour. All right, everybody, take care. My very best to you, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone. Thank you, B and Gwyneth. Thank you all of the contributors to Super Chat. Happy dating, everybody.